အာဆီယံခေါင်းဆောင်တွေကိုဖိအားပေးဆန္ဒပြနေကြတာဖြစ်ပါတယ်အာဆီယံဒေသတွင်းမှာဒီမိုကရေစီနဲ့လူ့အခွင့်အရေးထုံးကားအောင်လုပ်ပြီးတော့အာဏာရှင်စနစ်တွေချုပ်ငြိမ်းအောင်ဖိအားပေးကြဖို့ဆန္ဒပြတဲ့သူတွေကအမေရိကန်အစိုးရနဲ့ကမ္ဘာခေါင်းဆောင်တွေကိုတောင်းဆိုနေကြတာပါအထူးသဖြင့်တော့စစ်တပ်ကအာဏာသိမ်းထားတဲ့မြန်မာနိုင်ငံနဲ့အာဏာရှင်စနစ်နဲ့နှစ်ပေါင်းများစွာအုပ်ချုပ်ခံနေရတဲ့ကမ္ဘောဒီးယားနိုင်ငံကိုဝိုင်းဖိအားပေးကြရမယ်လို့ဆိုပါတယ်မြန်မာစစ်တပ်နဲ့ကမ္ဘောဒီးယားဝန်ကြီးချုပ်ဟွန်ဆန်ဆိုရအဖွဲ့ကိုလက်နက်ရောင်းချမှုချက်ချင်းပိတ်ပင်ဖို့ဒီနိုင်ငံတွေရဲ့ထောက်လှမ်းရေးစနစ်တွေကိုကန့်သတ်ဖို့ဒီနိုင်ငံတွေနဲ့စီးပွားရေးလုပ်နေတဲ့ဘယ်နိုင်ငံဘယ်ကုမ္ပဏီကိုမဆိုအမေရိကန်ဆိုရအနေနဲ့ဒဏ်ခတ်ပိတ်ဆို့ဖို့အရေးယူဖို့စတဲ့ချက်တွေကိုဆန္ဒပြသူတွေကအဓိကထားတောင်းဆိုခါတာဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဆန္ဒပြတဲ့သူတွေကဒီဝါရှင်တန် DC မြို့လေကောင်မှာရှိတဲ့ဝါရှင်တန်မိုးယူမန်ကနေတော့အာဆီယံခေါင်းဆောင်တွေအစည်းအဝေးလုပ်နေတဲ့နေရာတွေကိုထိတက်လင်းချောက်ဆန္ဒပြဖို့ဖြစ်တယ်
Good morning. I know we are saying good morning, but you know what's going on in our countries, Cambodia and Burma. Do you all agree that? So I know we will be starting our events in the few moments. So I just want to talk to you about a few things. I'm from Burma. You know, Cambodia and Burma diasporas are holding protests here at the Washington DC during the ASEAN Summit today, May 12, 2022. So I think we can start our program now.
Vietnam!
So today's rally is titled Democracy, Not Autocracy in ASEAN. And there is a follow-up, an open letter to Cambodia and the Cambodia and the Myanmar diaspora groups sent to President Joe Biden on January 21st, 2022. And a second letter that followed on May 1st, 2022. They call on the U.S. government and world leaders to take concrete and meaningful actions toward promoting genuine democracy and respect for human rights in ASEAN, and to urge all our allies in Asia and Pacific to do the same, particularly in Cambodia and Myanmar. So I think we are calling on the U.S. government and the world leader to deny the legitimacy of authoritarian regime, especially Hun Sen regime in Cambodia, by signaling that the results of upcoming 2022 and 2023 elections in Cambodia will not be recognized until all dissolved opposition parties are restored and conditionally, meaningfully, systematic change are implemented and free and fair elections are held under international monitoring. So I would like to invite Mr. Ruti from Cambodia.
All right. I would like to invite everyone to come forward, all right, to get together. Just wanted to thank everyone who travels near and far to come here today to express our expression, our desire and our message to the U.S. deliver to Mr. Hun Sen, who is in the ruling party in Cambodia today, and to the Myo Lam, who is the ruling leader in Myanmar today. So today, why are we here today? Do you know? Why are we here? We're here because we want the U.S. to know that we Asians, we love democracy. We do not love autocracy in ASEAN. This is what we want. We need a free and fair elections. We need the world to condemn Hun Sen and Myo Lam for what they have done, they are doing to the people. We want Hun Sen and U.S. put the pressure to the Asian presidents, Mr. Hun Sen, to free all political prisoners, not to arrest anyone who speak freely for the cause of humanitarians, for the cause to fight to restore the democracy in our countries, in our Asia. And also we want the U.S. to give the message to Mr. Hun Sen and the leaders of ASEAN that to stop China to invade our territories by using the dirty monies to abuse to our nations. That's all we want. This is what we want, and we want you to work together. Yesterday I heard that Mr. Hun Sen stated that whoever organized this event to protest or to rally against his presence here in this land of the free, land of the brave, are too weak. Because if we CNRP, if we Cambodian Americans who live in the United States could not find thousands of people to support just like he had done, we are too weak for him. But I answered back to him that he asked why do we have to work together with other Asian countries to make body bigger. This is not about weak or strong. This is about we as Americans, we understand what freedom is. We understand what democracy is. We understand the freedom of the press is. We understand how to live freely in this land of the free. When we win peace, we win peace. When we say democracy, we mean democracy. When we talk about free and fair, we mean a free and fair. Free and fair not because you put the guns to the people to work for you, put the guns on those people's heads or to their relatives so that they endorse your dirty work, put the pressure, arrest other people just because they protest to ask to be fair, to ask to treat them well, and put them in the house of arrest. That is not free. That is not a peaceful country. That is a country full of authoritarian that uses power to abuse the poor people, to abuse the weak people, to abuse the old people, for their own interests. This is how we feel about it. So today, we want to convey our message. That the international community must recognize the NUG of Burma. We feel certain that they would not want one of the members that being invited to sit down at a table to discuss democracy. We feel sad that one of our leaders from CNRP not sit down at a table to discuss what we need to restore democracy, freedom in Cambodia. Now we gather together to let the U.S. government know, to ask Mr. Biden, our president, know through our open letters that we sent to let him know that ASEAN must be free. Asian democracy must be restored. We ASEAN, we love democracy. We do not support autocracy, and democracy must go on in ASEAN and stop China from spreading the wing all across the ASEAN, because they think that they are too powerful. They think that they can do anything they want with the money, with the power. No, we not allow that. We can continue our work until our countries free of authoritarians, free of dictators, so that people can exercise their mind freely. People can exercise their work and their freedom freely. Okay. Free Aung San Suu Kyi. Free Kem Sokha. Free all political prisoners. No threat for our human rights. Free and fair election in Cambodia. Cambodia must be free. Burma must be free. Everyone must be free and exercise your right. Yes or no? Yes or no? Are we going to fight for freedom for us? With us? Are you going with us to fight for freedom to restore back in ASEAN? Yes. Oh, some talk about some James Aqua with the plan about, but had anybody young more to this part? Look on sign, man, John days are on break. Which that day, the point is rape, groups of Manu, groups of the tip jet of play. How you told it, no, because you go just look, look all, the people of you to George Washington. Now, Chip went down. របស់ប្រទេសអាមេរិកដែលជាបិតានៃអ្នកអរុបរួមរដ្ឋទាំងអស់ឲ្យคล้ายទៅជាសហរដ្ឋអាមេរិកហើយដែលនាំពងនប់នៅលទ្ធិប្រជាធិបតេយ្យនិងការដឹកនាំពិតៗនៅសហរដ្ឋអាមេរិកមកដល់សប្តាហ៍នេះអញ្ចឹងហើយអ្វីដែលលោកហ៊ុនសែនមកនេះមិនមែនដែលសហរដ្ឋអាមេរិកអញ្ជើញគាត់មកហើយដើម្បីដើរលេងនៅទស្សនកិច្ចការផ្សេងៗទេគេនាំគាត់មកអញ្ជើញគាត់មកដើម្បីឲ្យគាត់ស្ដាប់គាត់ក៏ទេសនាគេនៅប្រទេសខ្មែរឥឡូវគេអញ្ជើញគាត់មកវិញដើម្បីទទួលនៅដំបូន្មានផ្សេងពាក់ព័ន្ធនឹងសិទ្ធិមនុស្សពាក់ព័ន្ធនឹងលទ្ធិប្រជាធិបតេយ្យនិងពាក់ព័ន្ធដល់ការបោះឆ្នោតតាមទិដ្ឋាធម៌ហើយក្នុងនាមគាត់ជាអ្នកដឹកនាំនៅប្រទេសអាស៊ីភាគអាគ្នេយ៍យ៉ាងនេះគាត់ជាអ្នកដឹកនាំម្នាក់ដែលទៅតែគ្រប់ឆន្ទៈប្រជាពលរដ្ឋដែលទៅដឹកនាំប្រទេសទាំងឡាយអាស៊ីចំពោះទៅកាន់លទ្ធិប្រជាធិបតេយ្យចំពោះទៅកាន់ការគ្រប់សិទ្ធិមនុស្សចំពោះទៅកាន់ទីមួយដែលពុះពេញទៅដល់ការសប្បាយរីករាយក្នុងការជួបជុំគ្នាប៉ុន្តែលោកហ៊ុនសែនគាត់ខ្វះនៅការភាពទំនំព្រោះគាត់ថាគាត់សន្យានឹងនាំព័ន្ធនៅសេរីភាពនិងសិទ្ធិសេរីភាពគ្រប់សិទ្ធិមនុស្សទៅដល់ប្រទេសភូមាក៏ប៉ុន្តែគាត់មិនបានមើលប្រទេសខ្លួនឯងទេព្រោះថាធម្មតាយើងថាជួយខ្លួនគេខ្លួនឯងសិនដល់ជួយខ្លួនគេក្រោយប្រទេសយើងពុះពេញទៅដោយប្រជាពលរដ្ឋដែលរងទុក្ខផ្នែកប្រទេសយើងដែលលោកហ៊ុនសែនតែជាប្រទេសអស់គុណសន្តិភាពអស់គុណសន្តិភាពបានតែចំពោះបុគ្គលដែលទទួលនៅផលប្រយោជន៍គាត់ទទួលនៅផលប្រយោជន៍ពីលទ្ធិគាត់ក៏តែជីវិត80%ហើយដែលកំពុងតែរងទុក្ខវេទនា
ASEAN នេះជារឿងមក democracy នៅការបាត់បង់នៃគ្លីអាណាចិនសនិទ្ធិនៃអង្គការពិចារណាសានាទេតុរិកា American មានអំណាចទាំងអស់នោះកបាកោមកគោចောင်းសុនកាបាហើយក៏ជាណសិទ្ធិកាអាណាបិញហើយនៅម៉ានហ្នឹងគេអាណាចិនសនិទ្ធិនេះបងញ៉ាំហើយពីយ៉ាកម្ពុជាណាមកវាយជាអាណាទៅដែលហៅថាលទ្ធិប្រជាធិបតេយ្យអ្វីទៅដែលហៅថាសិទ្ធិមនុស្ស
អ្វីដែលហៅសិទ្ធិក្នុងការបញ្ចេញមតិសិទ្ធិក្នុងការប្រឆាំងមិនគ្រប់គ្រងអ្នកណាដែលធ្វើជំងឺណាដែលមិនស័ក្តិសមទៅគោលការណ៍របស់យើងយើងឃើញហើយម្សិលមិញ
American ASEAN ទី2ឡាការបស់សម្រាប់យោបាយទាំងឧស្សាហកម្ម
លោកហ៊ុនសែន
ចាបាបរីនេះតបតាមមកនេះយ៉ាជាបាហ៊ុនសែនមិនបាននេះឡាកាងទៅពួកនេះគាត់នៅមកចង់ទៅអរសុខមួយមកពីកាលីហ្វ័រញ៉ា NUG យោតាទៅពួកដល់យ៉ាបកូលេទីខាងដល់តែ NUG နိုင်ငံတိုင်းဝင်ကြီးတော့စမအောင်ကတော့ Washington ရောက်ပါလေတော့စမအောင်ညီလာခံပြပမှာအာဆီယံကောင်ဆောင်
ថានេះគឺជាសិទ្ធិរបស់យើងបញ្ចេញទៅសិទ្ធិក្នុងការយើងបញ្ចេញនៅមតិរបស់យើងហើយបើសិននៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជាវិញតែធ្វើនឹងបាត់ខ្លួនហើយក៏តែនេះមិនមែនទេជាប្រទេសអាមេរិកប្រទេសដែលគេគ្រប់សិទ្ធិសេរីភាពរបស់ប្រជាពលរដ្ឋគេអ្វីដែលគាត់បញ្ចេញគឺជាភាពដែលគាត់មិនពេញចិត្តនឹងការគ្រប់គ្រងកាត់ងត់របស់ហ៊ុនសែនអញ្ចឹងមកគាត់នៅដើរជាមួយយើងអត់មានដំណាំមកតាមរកគាត់ជប់មួយគាត់ទេណាគាត់មានសិទ្ធិគ្រប់គាត់ក្នុងការបញ្ចេញកំហឹងរបស់គាត់ទៅដល់អ្នកដែលដឹកនាំដែលគាត់មិនគ្រប់គ្រងណាជ័យយោទីប្រជាធិបតេយ្យប្រទេសអាមេរិកជ័យយោខ្មែរសាមគ្គីគ្នានៅក្រៅប្រទេសជ័យយោ kenapa sangko chia dan berpulangជ័យយោខ្មែរសាមគ្គីខ្មែរត្រូវតែរស់ជ័យយោខ្មែរអមតៈ
Thank you, Mr. Rathian. Next, I would like to invite Stephanie Shea, Myanmar youth activist from Washington, D.C.
Thank you, everyone. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? Great. First off, I'd like to say thank you for allowing me to speak on behalf of the Burmese diaspora. I'd just like to say it warms my heart with joy that we are all gathered here in unity to speak out against oppression for those suffering in Southeast Asia. What brings us together is not the careless and barbaric dictators that wreak havoc on our motherland, but our compassion and empathy. We are brought together today because of our humanity, which the dictators like Hun Sen and Min Aung Hlaing lack. Cambodia and Burma has had a long history of having to combat imperialism and tyrants, constantly at the mercy of unethical and ruthless tyrants, tortured and killed by two separate juntas that have been allowed to run rampant due to lack of consequences for their crimes. And those of us in the diaspora, we are sympathetic to each other's plight. We are away from our beloved motherland, having to witness our brothers and sisters back home struggle to survive terrorism. That is why we stand strong and support each other, unwavering, holding on to hope that our loved ones can one day live in peace and in the safety of a true democracy. We have learned that it's better to stay united and fight for justice together. We have a chant in this Burma Spring Revolution. We ask, Nara Yura Nia Lahe! Nara Yura Nia Lahe! I ask our people, are we synchronized? Are we united? And they respond with, yes we are, yes we are. And that is a mentality that we must have to go forth and win this revolution and win democracy for the people of ASEAN. That is why we are here today. Please go forward and use your liberty to promote liberty for those who are unable to stand up for themselves. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stephanie, for waiting. Yes, of course, please come here.
All right, you hear me now? Yeah. Thank you, Stephanie, for a great speech. Yeah, we come here for stand strong together. Today we gather with Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, and also our friend is from South Vietnamese is stand for democracy as well. And today we come here. Why are we come here for? So we come here for to take the lead in promoting genuine democracy and respect for human rights in Asia, especially in Cambodia and Myanmar, Laos, and Thai also. The promotion of democracy, human rights, and rule of law are clearly included in the ASEAN Charter. When it comes to the human rights of youth, the non-interference principle should be subordinated to international human rights law and treaties. So another thing that we come here for is to refuse the result of legitimacy of the authoritarian regime if the elections are not fair. Free election. And also we want to free by the people, and also the unfair election means no representative vote and non-recognition of the pre-arranged result. The third reason that we are here is to impose an immediate armed embargo on the Myanmar junta and Hun Sen regime, and also the sanction on any company, financial institution, or the country that assists the Myanmar junta and the Hun Sen army evaded economic sanctions and armed embargoes. The last thing that we come here for is we ask the United States not to place political expediencies over principle. Please do not befriend dictator. Please do not befriend dictators. Also overlook their human rights abuse just to gain support against China and Russia. Please do not develop trade at the expense of democracy and human rights. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to invite Honorable Bud Bhutan, Executive Director of Buddhism for Peace Organization.
Please welcome.
So, Honorable is not here, so we would like to invite Mrs. Rani Lushinsky.
Rani, the Bongani Som Change, Hai Nang Lok Vibal Tuja, Vibal Tam, Lok Vibal, Ja.
ကျွန်တော်တို့အခုရောက်နေတာကတော့ American ပြည်ထောင်စုမြို့တော်
Please welcome Bangladesh.
Washington Monument မှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဒီကနေ့မှာ
Thank you very much.
သမ္မတဘိုင်ဒန်
Thank you.
American ASEAN ထိပ်သီးညီလာခံကျင်းပနေတဲ့တစ်ချိန်တည်းမှာပဲမြန်မာနဲ့ကမ္ဘောဒီးယားနိုင်ငံကနေပြီးတော့ဒီ American မှာအခြေချနေထိုင်နေတဲ့သူတွေဟာဒီမှာလာပြီးတော့ဆန္ဒပြနေကြတာဖြစ်ပါတယ်အာဆီယံဒေသအတွင်းမှာဒီမိုကရေစီနဲ့လူ့အခွင့်အရေး
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
အာဏာရှင်စနစ်တွေ
We are gathering here today
ဆန္ဒပြတဲ့သူတွေက
because we want to express our feeling
ဟိုတောင်းဆိုနေကြတာဖြစ်ပါတယ်
that we want to have
အခုပြတော့စစ်တပ်ကအာဏာသိမ်းထားတဲ့မြန်မာနိုင်ငံနဲ့အာဏာရှင်စနစ်နဲ့နှစ်ပေါင်းများစွာအုပ်ချုပ်ခဲ့ရတဲ့ကမ္ဘောဒီးယားနိုင်ငံကိုဝိုင်းဖိအားပေးကြရမယ်ဆိုပါတယ်
Cambodian American for Human Rights
ဒီကြောင့်ဟွန်ဆန်အစိုးရဖွဲ့
and democracy, we urge the United States and the world to
ဒီနိုင်ငံတွေနဲ့စီးပွားရေးလုပ်နေတဲ့
take
ဘ
the
ယ်နိုင်ငံ
lead
ဘယ်ကုမ္
in
ပဏီ
promoting democracy and respect for human rights in Southeast Asia, especially in Cambodia and Burma.
အာဆီယံခေါင်းဆောင်တွေရောက်ရှိနေတာဖြစ်ပါတယ်
Two,
ဒီ American ASEAN
refuse the result
မြန်မာစစ်တပ်ကိုတော့
and legitimacy of authoritarian regime
ဖိတ်ကြားထားတာတော့မရှိပါဘူး
if the
ဒါပေမဲ့
elections
အမျိုးသားညီညွတ်ရေးအစိုးရ
are not free and
နိုင်ငံသား
fair
ဒေါက်တာစင်မာ
and not recognizing
နိုင်ငံခြားရေးဝန်ကြီးဒေါ်စင်မာအောင်က
Orange
ဒီ
Result.
ဝါရှင်တန် DC မြို့တော်မှာရောက်နေတာဖြစ်ပါတယ်
Number 3,
သူကအမေရိကန်အစိုးရ
impose
ခေါင်းဆောင်
an
တစ်ယောက်နဲ့
immediate armed embargo
ဒီလာကန်တင်ပါ
on
မှာ
the
တွေ့ဖို့
Burma
ဖြစ်ပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာ
junta
ဒီအာဆီယံ
and the Hun
အ
Sen
မေရိကန်ဒီလာ
regime
ကန်ကိုဒီနေ့မ
and
နက်ဖြန်
put
ရက်ကျင်းပမှာဖြစ်
sanctions
ပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာ
on
ကျွန်တော်
any
ပို့ပါပါ
companies, financial institutions, or country that assist the Burma junta and the Hun Sen regime. Number 4, which is the last one, the United States not to place political expediency over principle. Please do not befriend dictators and overlook the human rights abuses just to gain support against China or Russia. And do not trade at the expenses of democracy and human
ဆန္ဒပြတဲ့
rights.
သူတွေကဒီ Washington DC Monument ကနေပြီးတော့ခဏနေလို့ရှိရင်ဒီသမ္မတဘိုက်ဒန်နဲ့အာဆီယံခေါင်းဆောင်တွေအစည်းအဝေးကျင်းပနေ
អូ
တယ်
ខេ
နေရာကို
ចាជាបន្ត
ကြည့်
ទៀត
တတ်မှာ
សូមអញ្ជើញលោកវិបុលតាន់ចាហើយ
ဒီတော့
ដើម្បី
အဲ့ဒီ
ឲ្យ
ဖြစ်
គាត់
မှာလည်းထပ်ပြီးတော့ဖိအားပေးဆန္ဒပြကြမှာပါ
Okay, thank you, Miss Kumhon. Okay, good morning, everyone. សូមក្រាបថ្វាយបង្គំព្រះសង្ឃព្រះថេរាធុរៈដោយសក្ការៈ I'm Vibol Tan from Cambodian Americans from Human Rights and Democracy, better known as CARAT. On behalf of the CARAT, I would like to thank the people who came together to organize this event to show our discontent with the dictatorial regimes of Asia, namely the regime ruling Cambodia, Burma, Laos, the Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam during their visit to the United States. We gather today to demonstrate to the world that together democratic forces can and will defeat autocracy in Asia. People in Cambodia, Burma, Laos, Thailand, and Vietnam deserve better from their governments. They deserve true human rights, real democracy, and freedom as citizens.